Hi there, wonderful awakening beings and spiritual souls. Jo Rose of JoRose.com, numerologist and energy forecaster. In this video, I'm sharing with you the numerology forecast for June 2020. Just before I get into June, let's recap on what 2020 has in store for us. It's a 4 energy. How do I know this? By adding together and reducing down all the digits of the current year. 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 0 equals 4. Now, I've been sharing in all the monthly videos what the 4 energy means, but to understand deeper on the 4 energy, do go and take a look at my video Numerology 2020 in the link below. The 4 energy is about structure, stability. One thing I've been going on and on about is systems, mainly your immune system. When we are looking after ourselves, building our own immune system, we become strong and able to go through whatever's going on. Because while it's about structure and stability, it could also be about the fall of structure and stability. So we need to be looking after the self in order to work through all of this. It's also about the process, and I want to say, trust the process. It may seem to be going slow, but the mass awakening, we've been waiting for eons for this to happen. I've watched movies since I've grown up, you know, the 60s and everything else, the age of Aquarius, the dawn is coming. We are at this point now where we can go one way or the other. So trust the process, but you are a part of the process. And in this time where we've been confined to our home, I hope you've been grounding yourselves and using the energy of the numbers month on month to work out what it is. Do you remember when I said to you in March, it's about going within? We've been put at home for a reason. Forget the external world and what it's been bringing in, but look at it as a spiritual path, given this opportunity to step back away from the rat race and find out what it is that we really need to be focusing on. Who are we and why we're here? That's the 7 energy. Pray is to ask, meditate is to receive, and remember, while we're each individual in our own right, we are all a part of the whole. In the 8, I suggested, who has the power? Do you have the power of somebody? Does somebody have the power of you? I also mentioned, become the CEO of the self. Become your own CEO. As the world has been panning out over the last few months, it's so important to learn to trust yourself. Last month, May, I said it was about endings, letting go, forgiveness, compassion, and so on. What did you let go of? And I'm asking you to think about this in order to move on towards what the energy is bringing for June. But what did you let go of? I shared in my update video that I've had a number of situations that arrive in my life that I've had to let go, to forgive. And at one point I almost thought I was going to lose Mum. Just in brief, Mum finally had an operation. She went missing that day. Don't ask, we've no idea. She didn't physically go missing, but everybody was telling us she was somewhere else and whatever. So we had to learn to just let go and go with it. It took us 7 days before a doctor spoke to us. Bearing in mind, we can't go and visit her in hospital. 7 days on, we find out that she's had various parts cut away, but not all cut away, and she now has some kind of stoma, temporary or permanent, we've no idea, system in place. And she's back onto physio because she had been bedbound for so long, and because she has spondylitis, is that the word, how you say it? Well, her spine is all not working too well for her, is going to take her a while to be up and out. But we have our fingers crossed that sometime early June Mum will be out, and if it is that the UK is allowing us to visit family, then we can go and visit Mum and help her recover quickly, and also for her husband who's been going through this all on his own. So that's me just catching up there, and in my previous videos I shared some of the other things I was letting go. So Back to the 4 energy, you know, it's about grounding. So have you been grounding? It's about effort. You know, sometimes it takes effort to let go as well as effort to move forward. It's about limitations and turning our limitations into our strengths. It's about understanding limitations, and that may be to do with the systems that are in place in our countries, in our communities around the globe, etc. The most important system is ours, and how we work with the next most important system, or probably the most important system, which is planet Earth. We need to learn to work together. I'm out here shooting this video barefoot like I like to do, grounding myself with Mother Earth, because we're positive, Earth is negative. The more we can do that, the more still and in the moment we can become. The 4 is about laying foundations. So some foundations may have been laid and they're crumbling, but we need to start laying new foundations over the course of this year, and no better time to start this will be than June. It's about planning and building or rebuilding. It's about control, but what's the right control? This is what we need to be asking ourselves. And it's about loyalty. And I believe the system that's crumbling has been focusing on and manipulating our loyalty, how we feel about others, so much so that we feel less about the self. So loyalty to the self is something I want you to focus on, especially in the month of June. It's about practicality. Have you looked at things that just don't make sense? There isn't even any practicality about some of these things that are taking place. Where's the logic? We've been educated with logic. Well, you thought we had, because it certainly wasn't creative that we was educated through. So logic, what makes sense and what doesn't? Just some food for thought there. Let's move on to June and the 1 energy. How do I know it's a 1 energy? Because the year is a 4 energy and June is the 6th month. So we add 6 to 4 and that's 10. 1 plus 0 is 1. Remember, whenever there is a 0, I have a video on that, check the link below. Whenever there is a 0, it intensifies. It's about wholeness, oneness, allness, nothingness. I know, some conflicts there, but when you really get deep, when you really are on your spiritual path, you'll understand more of what I'm saying here. But the 1 energy that we have for June, it has arrived. Yes, thank gosh for that. What does that mean? That means a new beginning, a fresh start, a chance to start over, but start over from everything that we have learned over the last few months. The 1 is the first one of this current decade. Now we are going to see less 1s as we move forward, because more 2s, there's more 2s taking place. And I've mentioned before that the 1 is very masculine, the 2 is very feminine. The 1 is about really me, myself and I, and the 2 is about the us. And we need to move to the us, but not forgetting the individuality and the uniqueness that we bring to the us. I will share a bit more as we go along. What I see June bringing to us now is new hope. New hope. 1 energy is about opportunities and also leadership. So tap into your own leadership. Own your uniqueness, not theirs. Let's get out of the rat race. Let's get out of those sheeple funnels that we've been placed in, and let's become who we are and understand our key role in what we're here to do, because we are here, we do have a mission, and it lies in your numerology. Remember, if you want to go deeper than these videos that I do readings, consultations and mentorships, and I would love to connect with you on this. I am having still trouble with my website and the email system. It isn't working, but if you leave a message in the comments below this video, whether you find me on Facebook or somewhere else I might post it, and certainly below the YouTubes, then we'll find a way to get in touch. Now is the time. Now is the turning point for you to live the life you were born to live. Remember, it's your life, spelled L-Y-F-E. Love yourself first every day, and then learn to love us. It's so simple, yet seems to be so hard to do. The 4 energy of the year is about service, and the 1 is about independence. I'm asking you to find your role to serve. 1 is the pioneer, the engineer. I want you to engineer or pioneer your life and your reality. What reality do you want to live? In a few videos back, well, I'm going to put it up here somewhere, I did the chart, power versus force. The point of change is when we find courage. 1 energy is about courage. It's about action. It's about standing up, standing out, owning who you are and finding your role to play. Whatever happens this month, and I do feel there's going to be some big happenings this month, I'm asking you to stay true to yourself, to the awakening you, not perhaps the old you, but the one now that is beginning to think or feel that perhaps deep down you knew something wasn't right, and you're getting more validation in your research or experiences to come across this. Chances are you're going to see things from a new perspective. If you haven't already, you will from now on. What's new to your eyes? Last month was all about endings, creating space for the new, for the different, for the alternative. Time to let go of the suppressed and the 1 days and make today the day. Now, I don't mean rush out there and conquer and change the world, because the 1 is the starting block. It's time to sow those seeds, and we will nurture them as the months go on. The 9 was about releasing, ending, concluding the full death, forgiveness, compassion, and transformation. The work has begun, and the 1 energy, while it is new beginnings, if you think about planting a seed, you may be planting and the old has died back, perhaps your seed needs more space, so you still got to get rid of some things during the course of this month, and that's okay, because we've got 4 retrogrades in place, and I'd like to share these retrogrades with you just to help you understand. There's 4 retrogrades that are taking place at the moment, or throughout June. So let me share with you. There's 3 already in place, and they started in May within 3 days of each other. The first one was Saturn. Now, Saturn is the energy of self-discipline, responsibility, and long-term success. When it's in retrograde, it's going back. So what do we need to do? We need to look at the self-discipline. Are we forcing ourselves to be someone we're not? Are we forcing ourselves to be what they believe we should be? It's time to find the self-discipline of who you are. It's your life, remember? It's time to be responsible for you and see how your responsibility takes actions. We're all responsible for everything, and we can all get out of this current situation when we take responsibility for it. As for long-term success, are you following your dreams or somebody else's? Take stock. Use this energy to realign this, because this energy is about realigning. Question is, who are you showing up as? Let me move on to the next second retrograde. That is Venus. Now, Venus come into play 13th of May to 25th of July. Venus energy opens up old wounds and emotions. It's time to think, feel. Well, I say it's time. I want to say think and feel, but use time to do this. I had on my phone came up, somebody from my past had FaceTimed me. Supposedly my number was blocked from their phone, and it came up. Now, I didn't rush to answer it. Automatically I felt an energy come up from this, and I decided it was best not to play with that energy. Give time to think about it, find out whether it was meant to be rung or not, or where I stood within this energy. So it was interesting that just bang on as we start into this energy, or we've already got this energy from May, that this was going to come up. What do we want to do with this energy? Well, it's all about mirrors. mirrors, what was your relationships teaching you? Because we need to understand what each relationship teaches us. Our emotions, if we don't listen to our emotions, we get aches and pains in our body, and if we don't listen to the aches and pains, we get more chronically sick. If you want to have better well-being, then you need to listen to your emotions and work through their teachings. It's time to be committed to you. Let's move on to the third retrograde, which is Jupiter. 14th of May to 12th of September. Now, Jupiter is asking you about your beliefs. How have your beliefs been working out for you? Who stemmed these beliefs? Where did they come from? Have you been taught something that now you feel isn't quite right or isn't serving you? That's the best guide you can have, is how it resonates with you. I chose last month, I believe it was, to start speaking out, to start sharing what I felt and found from what's going on globally, because of the resonance. When we listen to the resonance, the energy is stronger than anything else. It's the best guide that we can have. So here it is, to look at what is been steering you and ask if it's really necessary, and perhaps you might need to start working on some new beliefs, like that you are great, that you are amazing, that you are certainly worth being here, that you've got endless potential and creativity and love and abundance. The fourth one is Mercury. Yes, Mercury comes regularly, doesn't it? But Mercury will show itself on 18th of June to 12th of July. Mercury always brings some form of delay in travel, delay in technology, delay in something. So it's asking you to stop, slow down, don't rush in. We're sowing seeds, they will not need to take ASAP. So what's been going on in your world? Why you spent this time in lockdown, and as we possibly could be moving to more, I want to say freedom. I'm not sure it's freedom, but as we're being allowed to be out more, what have you discovered? Did you switch from mainstream media? Did you look to find your answer somewhere else? How much research have you done? How have you informed yourself? What experiences have you felt? How is that making you look at life differently right now? What are you doing to realign yourself? Outside numerology, we can all do this. Have you switched onto your intuition? Are you beginning to listen to yourself more? Because this month is really about you becoming independent, you becoming the leader of you, you taking control and standing up for you, and you moving forward in the way that seems best for you in the long term. I'm sure you've been through cognitive dissonance, and yes, that's okay. Take the time, use the 4 energy, get out on the grass, reground yourself every time this comes up. But most importantly, are you finding hope now? Are you finding something that can help you move forward? Because that's what you need to do. What questions arose? What action are you taking on them? Are you tired of the old and worn out? Old habits, old behaviours, old confinements and old rules. This is a fresh start. It couldn't be a better energy. We're going to notice things are going to change. So what will be new for you, for your relationships, for your career, your dreams? And externally, I feel sure we're going to notice a big difference in banking, finance, leaders. Rumours are out there about the Pope and the British royal family, maybe more. It'll be interesting to see what comes out. I mean, I heard or have seen information online that there has been a lawful document submitted to Parliament, or attempted to be submitted to Parliament, on the 23rd of May. And 30 days from that date, 22nd of June, then we, the people, if there is no response from these documents, then we, the people, have the right to peacefully protest. So there are big changes on the horizon. I feel like there is a domino effect going to take place over the course of this month. Oh, we're getting ready for the domino effect, that's for sure. So how do you want things to be? How do you want to move forward? What seeds are you going to sow? We need a better system, one for the people, run by the people. Because we the people, on a whole, we have amazing hearts and great love and connection. And it's time that they stop pitting us against one another. On the whole, we don't have problems with anyone, really. Not our neighbours, not religion, not race, not colour, not anything. And we do come from a source of love, and that's where we need to go. On the chart, power versus force, love is up there. See, 500. We need to get into courage and start working our way up. Courage, get to neutrality, so don't see anyone as anything other than equal to yourself, and then we can perhaps move forward with a stronger foundation, a stronger structure. We may not yet know what's ended in May. Like I've mentioned, the Pope and the royal family. Rumour has it, and I don't know whether I should share this, but these are my findings, so this is my video, so I'm going to, that the Pope is under house arrest and that the royal family have abdicated, that there is a new king. How true this is, I don't know, but King John III has been mentioned. It all seems a little bit strange and a little bit weird, but when I check in with myself, it seems to be that there is something on this scale taking place right now. So that's what I'm saying. Hope, even if whatever it is, use it as the hope that you need to sow your seeds in order to move forward. Now, what we've noticed as we come to the end of May, and remember we're in so many retrogrades that these things are going to come up, and the negative side of the one energy is beginning to play out, or the seeds have been set ready via the retrogrades. But where we've been without work, without connection, forced to stay home, limited rations, little finances, we've watched businesses fail, people pass away and so on. Emotions are high. They were very high for May, and I mentioned that May would bring high emotions. And so there is a chance that as we're let out and things are going on, that we could be irrational, do things that we don't mean to do, become aggressive. What I'm asking you to do, while 1 is a faster energy than the 9, is to take the 1, bearing in mind we've been slowed down for such a long time, is to take this 1 energy slowly. Do find time to meditate and take time out and ground yourself. I want you to stop, feel and connect to source, connect to love, and then take action to move forward. When we can move forward with love, we will be stronger than when we move forward with fear. It's fear that they've been wanting. When I say they, I believe the deep state, or whoever the invisible government is, has forced upon us. When we live in fear, we're not strong, but when we live in love, we become strong. So even just finding hope and then courage can help us move forward. The 1 energy can bring strong opinions, impatience, insecurity, aggression, control and abruptness. What I'm asking you to do instead is to use self-awareness, your individuality, your uniqueness, be diplomatic and lead, utilising all that's creative, or become creative. Look to creation, look to source to guide you. Over these last few months, you have experienced a different way of living. So what worked better for you? What did you miss? What will you no longer miss or need? As you move forward, look at where you were. Do you want to work full time? Do you want to work in the office? I actually think more people will work from home because they've proved it could work, and less buildings will be used for offices, and maybe these buildings can be turned into homes for the homeless. I'm looking to find a way to make everything better. So what can you do differently that is more connected, brings you more in alignment with nature, at a slower pace. This rat race is speeding up and speeding up. We need to slow down and get back to the picnics, get back to the time with our loved ones, and have more fun in our life than this constant big brother over our shoulder making us work. We all enjoy work when we do what we love, and so we're more productive when this controlling eye, big brother, security system, whatever, isn't over our shoulders. What is your soul saying to you? What does your soul want right now? If my words of hope and love make sense, what is it that you can do in order to live in that energy? It's an incredible energy. When love leads us, we accomplish more. It takes less effort, so therefore we have more time and energy to do other things. When we can get variety in our life, that's great. So sow seeds in all areas, in your relationships, in your home, in your career, in your well-being, in your interests and hobbies. Do things a little different. One is an energy of change. We've always had choice. Even if you don't feel we've always had choice, we've always had choice. But most of us have been sheepled into a funnel that's made us feel we don't. We do. There is consequences for it. But the question right now is, we're at breakneck speed to either have freedom or no freedom. And I've said to you in my last video that 2021 is a 5 energy. So what do you want? Chaos or freedom? We need to be sowing those seeds together now for that freedom. If you had one last opportunity, one last wish, one last dream this month, what would you choose? Love or fear? I know what I would choose. Is now the time to get out of your comfort zone? If there is fear, let it rise. Face it full on and see what it really is. If it's big and overwhelmed, break it down into small steps and then sow the seeds, create the milestones, create the plan. Remember, 4 is about plan, 1 is new beginnings. Create the plan, but ask yourself what you're really afraid of. Is it now the time to see the phoenix rise? Remember, it's your life. You have control over this, whether you think so or not. So use this one energy and take back your power. Know who you are. Know the gifts that you bring to this planet. And let's start sowing seeds together. Let's live from hope. Let's raise this vibration up. Get to 200, get to courage, and we can work up. When we get to neutrality, there is no difference. We are all the same. We are all one. Find the willingness to be you. Find the willingness to live the life you really want to live. Acceptance. Accept that you have this power. Look, we keep working up this, we'll end up with enlightenment. We were here to bring heaven and earth together. Yet earth in all its beauty, as I stand out here now and enjoy the sunshine and the foliage and the birds. I know there's some traffic going past at the moment, but it's well worth it to live the life you were born to live. Look, if you've liked this video, give me a thumbs up. If you've not yet subscribed, please do. I hope now that Mum is in a better state and my mind is not elsewhere, that I will get back on with my expression series. Ring that bell so that you get notified as I put new videos up, and do share this with others. If you want to come from hope and you want to raise the vibration and you want to realize or just live with the energy and effects of love, then now is the time to do it. Let's connect. Let's love ourselves and love us. Let's come together. Let's unite. We are all one. Where one goes, we all go. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.